Hello, and welcome to today's session, Top 10 Must Know on the Next Gen Marketing Platform. I am today's host. Thank you all for joining. I have just a few housekeeping items to go over before we get started. All lines have been muted to reduce background noise. If you experience any technical difficulties, please let us know by using the chat panel below. We will be taking questions throughout the presentation and will answer them during the last 10 to 15 minutes of today's session. After today's event, you will also be receiving an email with the slides from today's presentation as well as a recording. At LBMC Technology Solutions, our aim is to be your team for everything tech. If you think of a technology challenge or need, please drop it in the chat, the Q&A, or send us an email, info@lbmctech.com. Now, please help me welcome our presenters for today's webinar, Jason Barnes and Michael Pristol. Jason joined LBMC Technology Solution over 8 years ago and has more than 22 years of experience in technology, specializing in CRM, Microsoft Power Platform, as well as solution consulting and architecture. Michael joined LBMC Technology Solutions in April and became a software engineer through a coding program designed by Yandex in 2020. He has 3 Microsoft certifications: Microsoft Power Platform, Functional Consultant, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Insights or Journeys, Functional Consultant, and Microsoft Power Platform Developer. Now, Jason, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. And good morning, everybody. We certainly appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us. I think we've got a great session. Actually, I've had it on my calendar for so long, and I've been looking forward to it. I think it's going to be the heart of every marketing program and marketing team across the country. So it's going to be a really exciting session. But before we get started, just make sure everybody is familiar with LBMC. We've been in this space and helping clients with their technology needs for 27 years now. We're headquartered in Nashville, but we have offices throughout the country. So we have a wide range. We have some international clients that we work with. We provide a pretty significant range of services and support. We like to say that we do everything but clean your offices. We can come in and help with IT or network administration stuff. We can implement and support a range of ERP and accounting systems. My team can come in and help you with CRM and marketing platform needs. And of course, we're going to be talking about that a lot today. At LBMC, in my opinion, we have an outstanding team, and they do work really hard to deliver the best possible experience and solutions to our clients. But the other thing, too, is we couldn't do that without some great partners as well. So we do partner with many of the top software publishers, such as Microsoft, Sage, and Highland Software. So more specifically, how do we really support sales and marketing teams? We do our best to empower those teams. I think what sets us apart is we are more like process engineers. We're going to come in and talk about the sales process or your marketing related processes, and really going to help you architect a solution, right? So it's more about what we're trying to support with the process itself rather than technology alone. I think we have a proven methodology for helping implement CRM and marketing platforms. For training your team, we do have a strong focus on user adoption as well. So all of our training efforts and all of our exercises around getting people ramped up, it's all about helping with user adoption challenges. Probably one of the more key parts of any project is the ability to analyze the data coming out of the system that we put in place. And of course, we can assist with Power BI or BI related reports and development. Help desk, obviously, we need somebody to call, right? We're not Ghostbusters, but we certainly can answer the phone and make sure we take care of you whenever you need us. A good example of that might be helping you with planning a campaign. In 2024, we're going to be rolling out a new program around advisory plans, where we are going to be an extension of your team. We can help you strategize and execute marketing and sales efforts. Lately, we've been doing quite a bit of Power Platform support, and mainly in the way of workflow automation and extendability, really extending the application throughout the organization. So let's talk about our learning objectives for today. We thought it might be relevant to give everybody a good definition of data-driven marketing. So we're going to start with that. Then we're going to focus on customer insights throughout the day. And then we will make sure everybody understands what's going on right as we speak. There's this transition going on throughout the industry from what's historically been called Dynamics 365 marketing to customer insights. The main goal of the presentation is to give you 10 must-knows about this new next-gen marketing platform. And then we'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. Let's get started. So data-driven marketing, I would say it's a relatively new approach. to marketing, and it relies on analysis and utilizing data to make more informed decisions about how you market, and then to help you optimize those efforts, right? The goal is to improve effectiveness and the efficiency of all your marketing activities. It's really about taking the guesswork out of marketing, right? You have all of your decisions on how you market, what you say, who you're saying it to. We take that guesswork out, right? So that's what this is really about. It focuses on 5 key things. Number 1, the data collection. We got to have the data. So data-driven marketing begins with that collection of all this sort of relevant data from several sources, things like customer interactions that you or your team have, the website, social media, email campaigns, and so forth. And then once you gather that data, we pull that data together, then we analyze it, right? So once it's collected, the idea is to gain some insight into it, right? So what are the customer's preferences? What are their behaviors, like shopping and purchasing trends? That's all part of the analysis step. And once we do that, we work on our segmentation. So segmentation is about delivering that personalized, more relevant marketing message to those different customer segments. We can use that customer data as marketers to create that tailored marketing message that's relevant, and that increases your chances of getting some engagement, and then of course lead conversion, right? And then we can't forget automation. So now that we have all these new automation tools, we're going to talk about Power Automate today. Michael's going to be talking about that. We can use these automation tools to take care of those repetitive tasks that we do in marketing. It can help maintain our customer segments. And then of course, it allows us to really personalize the content and do that at scale, right? Because we don't have to have human beings doing it all. So obviously automation is a big key to this. Any good marketer will tell you it's about the measurement of the results of our marketing efforts, tracking the performance of the campaigns. The idea is that with all this data, marketers can really determine which strategies are more cost effective, which ones are profitable, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Now, let's talk about Microsoft's latest platform to help businesses really achieve that data-driven marketing strategy. That's Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. It's really Microsoft's what they call customer data platform. And this is not a new term, and they're not the only ones on the market with a CDP solution. It's really designed to help organizations gather and unify all that data I was talking about. It could be sales-related sources, marketing, customer service interactions, even financial data. And we're taking all of that, right? And what we're doing is we're putting that into a single platform. So it gives your marketing team and your users the ability to see a full 360-degree view of the customer segments. It's all about being more strategic and being more tactical when it comes to your marketing decisions. So we're creating that content that's most relevant. As of September, Customer Insights is actually becoming 2 solutions in one. Customer Insights Data, which was actually the prior solution. That's been around probably a couple of years at this point. And then Customer Insights Journeys. Customer Insights Journeys is the new next-gen marketing platform that we're going to talk about today. Customer Insights, it's really about centralizing customer data from all over the organization. We're aggregating it, and then we're distilling it down into a single marketing data source. That is what Customer Insights is. As you can imagine, with all that data we get to sift through, Microsoft is adding in that power of AI, and an industry term is natural language support. And I know Michael is looking forward to really explaining that to you later on, so I'm not going to steal his thunder. So what is this transition? For those of you who are not familiar with that recent September announcement from Microsoft, Dynamics 365 Marketing is actually being merged with Customer Insights. So the strategy here is Microsoft is going to take their leading customer data platform and they're going to combine it with their marketing platform. That's sort of a natural fit, right? So that marketers can now leverage all the benefits of having that centralized data being pulled into their marketing platform. It's the marriage of Customer Insights and Dynamics 365 Marketing. And it's obviously something that we're very excited about. We look forward to discussing it and explaining it to you today. So with that, let's take a quick minute for a poll question. I think Michael's then going to take over and dive into those top 10 things that we promised you. We'll give it about 20 seconds. Thank you, Lisa. Looks like we have some Dynamics 365 Marketing app users. That's awesome. All right, without further ado, the man of the hour, we're going to bring Michael Prissel on, and he's going to talk all about these top 10 things that we really need to know. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Let's get right down to it. If no one can even use the product, then what's the point? Who cares about the features? Customer Insights Journeys is easy to use. Let's see what's included. Marketers most often group customers together, usually by demographic, firmographic, or behavioral data. Customer Insights Journeys has made this process simple. A marketer could easily select an attribute, like a contact's address, look for a specific customer behavior, like when they click on an event, or include an existing segment to build on top of. As you can see here, the UI builder has a very easy to switch in between the attributes, behavior, and the segments, as well as over here, making it as easy as possible for your marketers to be able to navigate. I'll show an example with this one. For this example, let's assume that your company is too busy to go after every lead. You want to narrow down what leads to go after by industry and company size. Here, we could see that this is what it's doing. It is looking for the financial industry, or depending on what you're looking for, the customer service industry. The only ones that will be filtered are those that have the company size of over 10,000 employees. A marketer can remain confident in what context the segment includes by clicking on the view sample of the included members, which is down here. This pops up this little box right here that is actually showing you the contacts as you are building out the segment. So the more that you add here, the less, of course, the members will show, depending on, what exactly you're putting here. There's a new lead scoring builder, sticking to understanding what leads to go after, which I should have actually stated that. This is for lead building. Your team can set a level of importance on each action a customer takes by using points. Each action will automatically increase or decrease the points, providing your team with a grade that your team sets. So here you could see that the engagement scoring model is being used, where you could add points to each individual thing that matters to you. If a email is opened, we believe that it should be X amount of points. If a form submitted, it's this amount of points. Once you have determined that a customer has given enough points or got enough points and enough actions for the points, you could then score based on cold, warm, or hot. These values are totally up to you and totally customizable. All right, second one. There are pre-built journeys and custom triggers to help you along your way. Once the app is installed, you get these pre-built ways to take your customer along what's called a journey. Will they find themselves at the end? Let's look at what marketers could do to help out. The journey is quite literally the path you take your customers on. Each of the actions could have a consequence. For example, when they submit a form, we could see here that the marketing form is submitted. We want to send them an email, thank them for filling something out. We could then ask if they have signed up for or checked into the event. And then from there, it branches out to see if they haven't, then we were going to, of course, want to send them an email asking them if they are missing the event, try to get them into it while the event is going on. A trigger is an action a customer took. So right here, it all starts with what the customer itself is doing. The triggers listed over here are pre-built actions that allow your marketers to control fate itself. There's so much power. The next time you visit a website or cancel an event, will a marketer be controlling your fate? If you need some more functionality, there's ability to create custom triggers. If your marketers are hungry for power, you could give it all to them with custom triggers. A quick note here, the dev team can rejoice, the process is straightforward for them. So even though you're custom making these, the trigger right here, so in this case, an abandoned cart, it's very easy for both the marketer and the dev team to be able to collaborate. Other than the abandoned cart, the other examples that you could be thinking of is if your marketer wants to send a customer journey when a specific website is clicked or when a video is played, you're also able to do that as a trigger event. Should we send promotions when a customer buys their first product? How about when they walk through your storefront? All things are possible with the custom triggers. Marketers now have a lot of power, but how easy is it for them to get specific? Well, what if they don't need to make a segment, but want the ability to apply a condition to control the customer's fate? Just like life, our journey can branch out in different paths. Marketers won't want to lose control of the customer's fate just because they wandered into a different path. Let Johnny wander for a bit. We could still help. And that's where journey branching comes in. Let's look at an example right here. So in this case, the denotion donation was made, which triggered this journey to happen. What we care about is the donation amount. That will tell us what we want to do with that customer. If the customer has donated less than $5,000, we could just thank them for their donation. If it was between the ranges of 5,000 and 25,000, we could create a sales phone call for them. If it's more than that, we could add a high value donor segment to them to use the segment later on in other journeys to basically tell us that they have a high likelihood of buying something later on. Once we start controlling customer fates, we could see what other actions they take through interaction triggers. These interaction triggers are just actions that happen in the middle of a journey, not to start or end one. The list here shows the pre-built actions our marketers can target, such as the email being blocked or whether or not an email link is clicked. It also comes with out-of-the-box features that support text messaging and push notifications. All right, must know number 3, marketing journey and channel analytics. Our marketers are controlling fate itself. Maybe analytics were scary in the past, but not any longer. Let's see how with these built-in dashboards. We could see analytics for the most important factors across all of our journeys through the cross-journey dashboard. Here, we can answer questions like, what percentage of the customers are completing their journeys? What channels are our customers interacting with? What emails are not being opened? And can we see a trend with the naming of those not open? What triggers are activated the most? How many people have completed the journey? How many people are exiting? What are the failure rates? You could see the engagement success, so the delivery of each channel. The channel is the email, SMS, or push notifications. If there are any issues, how many are in the current flow. So there's a lot of power right here. If your marketer has 2 great ideas for an email, we shouldn't limit them. Instead, let's keep giving them more power. We could run them both to analyze the operational analytics at an individual journey level, giving them data to truly understand what path is best. You could see the fate of our customers through the swim lane shown in blue here. So in the very beginning, there was 118 customers who are going along this lead generation. From there, we could do an A/B test to figure out what promotion would have the highest success rate. The entire time, you could see that it goes from 118 to 67 for version A. Over here, it tells you which one is winning very clearly. And then from then on out, AI chooses which one it should then send along a path from there. We could see in the analytics for the most important factors across all of our channels through the channel dashboard. Here, we could answer questions like, what channels have the highest open rate? What channels are we using the most? How many times have we had delivery issues, or what was the reasoning? A fun thing to note here is AI could be used to determine what channel to send a message to. After analyzing customer interactions, it would build up enough knowledge to actually make the decision for you. Through the delivery funnel on the right, we could view additional metrics to diagnose the content performance for each channel. The delivery interaction details to the bottom right will pop open a screen displaying information for each contact. Once you click on it, this is what you'll be able to see. So this gives a more in-depth look at what is happening, who are the contacts going through, if they've unsubscribed from something or hit a certain page, you'll be able to see all that here. Must know number 4, smarter email marketing. Customer insights journeys provide some cool tools to make our marketers' lives easier. Our marketers need data to create the best path for our customers, so we need to capture as much as we can. Customer insights journeys keeps track of a lot of data for us. But what happens when we send customers to our website? With UTM tagging, you can determine how successful an email is in driving traffic to your website. Marketers can track the specific source, medium, and journey name that generate website visitors. Imagine wanting to retarget customers who have abandoned their cart. You could send different emails to customers, tracking which ones result in customers returning to complete their purchases. This traffic and conversion information could then be used to optimize marketing strategies and allocate budget more effectively. If your company has many logos, different branding, or social media accounts, brand profiles will make it easier for your content making team. Once your brand profile has been set, the system will automatically change out your social media links for your content creator, saving them time and guaranteeing consistency. So here you could see that there's different senders that you could put within your email, and it's as simple as clicking on a button to change out who is sending it. Over here, you could see the social media links. This will dynamically change the links based on what brand profile you're using. Right here is also how you could choose the brand profiles. So if you're saying Conseco in this situation, then all these brand profile names, it will automatically change to match that brand. Content creators can run checks on their emails at the click of a button. AI will analyze the email, then provide suggestions to keep content accessible and out of customer spam boxes, and in very easy to understand format, as you can see here. Managers can make sure that they stay within capacity limits with pre-built quota dashboard. Here they could see how many contacts have been interacted with over the year to make informed decisions on when they need to increase or decrease their capacity. So the only way to stop your marketer's power when a customer has restricted or has not given their consent. Superman has kryptonite, right? But Superman wouldn't want to be emailed or texted at any time, day or night, for non-emergencies. One has to question though, how would we only send out specific messages? From this diagram, let's focus on consent purposes, right down this line. Consent could be given or taken away from commercial purposes, like sending promotions, transactional purposes, like receiving a receipt, or tracking purposes, like tracking a customer once they click on a link from our emails. We don't need a customer to receive or respond to a promotional email, but we do need them to receive a transactional email. It'd be like Superman not receiving emergency signals. When he's not fighting crime, Superman may need a new cape from time to time, and everyone loves a new deal. So how could you tell us he'd only like cape promotions? That's where topics come in, right here. Superman doesn't want to opt out of all promotions. So opting out of all commercial messages doesn't make any sense. Instead, he can opt in or opt out of different topics from the commercial messages. Let's see an actual example instead of that model. The colors here represent one customer under one email. This right here in green is one customer within one email, and this here in blue is another email. If brand profiles interested you, it's good to note that it's possible for an organization to have multiple compliance profiles in place. This comes in handy when you need different consent purposes, let's say for each subsidiary or country your business is in. If Superman prefers a certain brand of cape, he may want to opt in, but little does he know, we own all the capes. Our content creators can just create one email, and customer insight journeys will respect what Superman wants by switching the brand information automatically. Superman, our marketers decide your fate. A side note, these can be customized to fit GDPR standards. You would do that by the enforcement model here. To get a little bit further into the difference of purpose and topics, or to show what this model is doing, you could see it by the consent type right here, which is the purpose and the individual topics. The topics in this situation would be technology, construction, and healthcare. Person one, or green person, has opted in to everything, the commercial purpose, as well as the other topics under the purpose. Whereas blue person has opted into the purpose, but has opted out of just the construction one. So they will not receive any construction related material, but they will receive the other two. If a customer has not given consent for the purpose itself, then nothing will be sent to them under the commercial purpose. As stated before, there is SMS and push notification support. As we've seen for the analytics section, as well as the trigger section, Customer Insights Journey supports your SMS and push notification needs. We could send Superman a text about the cape he forgot in his cart. Customer Insights Journeys makes it easy to connect to certain SMS providers like Twilio, or these other ones that you see right here. Documentation is provided by Microsoft on how to make this connection. Content creators are able to see what messages look like while working on them, as you can see right here. Must know number 7. Organizing events is very easy. There's so many parts to an event. It takes months to plan out, set up, stay on track, and collaborate with everyone involved. Everyone needs a tool to help them along the way. There's no shame in that. Batman needs his gadgets to help, and so do our marketers. You can keep organized by using the out-of-the-box business process flow at the top right here. We have steps like the preliminaries, agenda, organize, promote, and post the event. Here is the actual form that you'll be able to see, and the business process flow is on the top right here. Each of these parts right here and the business process flow itself is customizable. On the next slide, we will focus on a portion of the promotion stage from the BPF, which is the plan registration. How do you plan on registering attendees for an event? Does a form need to be on your website? Or would you rather just direct attendees to a page with only a form on it? For these registration forms, we can allow customer insights journeys to create a page for us that only shows our form. When a customer clicks on the form's email link, they will get directed to that page. Or we could have customer insights journeys generate a code for our developers to plug into our site. It really is that easy. The easier it is for a contact to sign up, the better your conversion rate will be. Marketers can make things easier for your customers by adding an iCalendar file button to an email. Here you can see the add to the calendar, and this is linking to the iCalendar. Using the email editor, you could add the iCalendar button to personalize the email contact. When the contact selects the button, the iCalendar file downloads, allowing the contact to add it to the calendar of their choice. Depending on which calendar the iCalendar file is imported into, either the HTML or the text-only description will be used. Gmail and Apple Calendar, for instance, only support text descriptions. Here you could see that the HTML version is here, and it is displaying while you're creating what it will look like over here. Must know number 8, marketing collaboration. At some point, Superman will have to bring in the rest of the Justice League. Our departments need to align to make processes quicker, less stressful, and ultimately give customers the best experience. To get better aligned, we should think about how we could use journeys to collaborate with our team while customers interact with our content. Let's go over a couple examples. So right here, you can see that we can assign tasks when an email is hard bounce. When a contact's email was hard bounce, we could then create a task activity to verify the email address. This task activity could be given to anyone on your team that would handle such a situation. Once the task has been updated, you could then send an email telling them that, in this case, the system is down. Here, we're going after when a marketing form has been submitted. We want to hand off the high-quality leads to sales. When an item within the form, let's say a high-priced item, the customer has submitted a contact us about that specific item, we could branch off and do actions based on each event. In this case, we have thought this item is of high value, so we're going to want the sales team to call them. We could create a phone activity on their calendar to give them a call, which would include any information that is needed, such as the item name or the product, and wait until the sales representative has placed the phone call. Once this has happened, then you can see here that we would then be sending them a follow-up email. And all of this is happening automatically. As soon as you set it up, this will just start running for you. Do you remember the lead scoring from earlier? Here's another way you could use them. So right here, you could see that in this case, we have 2 different scoring models that we care about. Here, if this engagement model had a certain amount of points, or this model had a certain amount of points, we could update a lead status to marketing qualified, or we can mark it as lead sales ready. Once you've set this up and you've clicked yes, it will automatically do this for you. So you don't need to actually go into each lead and update it individually. Must know number 7, you could extend the functionality with Power Platform. What if the platform doesn't have an ability we need out of the box? We could extend customer insights journeys with the use of Power Apps. Power Apps are part of the D365 family, just like customer insights journeys, so it takes no effort to connect them. And the connection is as strong as that dynamic duo, Batman and Robin. Extend your abilities with the automation from Power Automate. From here, you could see that in this case, instead of Power Apps, you could just think of this as a trigger. When a trigger happens, you could then create a item within SharePoint to help you do whatever you would need in so in this situation, if you store files on SharePoint, you could either use journeys to store more information within that SharePoint file, or you could take from the file and send it back to customer insights journeys. If the built-in dashboard's not exactly what you wanted, then you'd be able to embed your own dashboard, as you could see here. If you just needed additional information like that SharePoint we just talked about, we could also have whatever was in there within the dashboard from Power BI, just like this. Do you want the ability to extend customer insights journeys even further? Use custom page or Canvas app as a pop-up like this inside a form or a standalone page. Think of these as apps themselves. Just like the millions of apps you download on your phone, you could create one of these to do a million different things. Our customers, for example, have used custom pages to add UI features, such as adding something like this, but here it would be prompting the marketer to answer questions about a particular journey or entity. And once you've done that, you could then click submit, and it would just either find the exact one you're talking about. It could do multiple. You could literally do whatever you want with it. All right, must know number 10. You can now create segments and journeys with the help of AI and Copilot. So let's jump in to see some videos of how AI could help our marketers create journeys and segments. So let's say we need to send a flash sales campaign to new members who have joined our loyalty program. You could browse a list of suggested journeys for inspiration. Here you could see the list. Sorry, I don't know why that was going backwards. You can see the list of suggested journeys for the inspiration right here. You could use the prompt guide for support. All right, so journeys for inspiration. You could use the prompt guide for support shown here. This guide helps format the prompt in a way that will help Copilot detect which journeys, type, and audience you want to target. You could also define the journey in your own words, which Copilot will process and respond with a journey suggestion that detects the segment you are trying to use and lists out the steps to the journey for you. This process saves time and allows marketers to not focus so much on the mechanics of getting the journey right. You could use simple words and phrases to target people who you wish to include in your segments without having to learn the specifics on how your data is linked in the backend. Here we're going to target contacts that work in the financial industry, living in Seattle, and make over $100,000. You could select the entity you want to target, in this case contact and not lead, and provide a brief description of the segment. This description is processed by the query assist feature, and the results will show on the right-hand panel. You could then look at the result and confirm that it was indeed what you wanted to build and click Use, adding it to the builder. If you would like to add more phrases, you could use the right pane replace, adding to an existing group, or add to a new group. If the results are not what is expected, you could provide feedback to help the AI get smarter over time. Using Query Assist makes it easy to get started with creating segments. So how much power will you give your marketers? Will they be a Robin or a Superman? Thank you. Jason.
Hey, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. That was a lot of content, lots of help. Top 10. So let's follow up with another poll question here. I'd like to know how many hours per week you spend managing data, adding data, uploading or importing lists, scrubbing that data on records like leads and contacts. So let's see about how much time people spend on that. All right, a mix. Up to 10, it looks like. Okay. So I think we have one more. So how would you rate your use of automation in your current marketing platform? So we think we have very little automation involved, maybe some automation, or it's like everything's automated. It's great. We don't have to lift a finger, right? It's hands-free. So who's highly automated? All right, good. It's like the majority have some level of automation in their environment now. That's great. Elisa?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Michael. We'll begin our Q&A live. If anyone has further questions about anything that Michael and Jason have shared today, and we don't get to your questions, please feel free to reach out to us at info@lbmctech.com. I do see a question came in. We talked about customer data and how customer insights can help marketing personalize campaigns. Could you expound on that? What exactly did you mean by that?
Great question. Getting back to a couple of points we talked about earlier on in the session is when we're gathering and collecting this data for so many different sources, for example, purchase history, buying trends, that sort of thing, we're able to bring in data that tells us what types of products or even color a customer is interested in. You can imagine you can take that information, create a segment that says customers that frequently buy sweaters, right? And not just sweaters, but they buy pink sweaters, right? So you have a new product, a new sweater line that just came out, and you really want to promote that new line. So we could easily take that data we already have and be very targeted in our approach to delivering a campaign to those folks that meet that criteria. That's what I meant by being able to personalize your campaigns, because you can really define in a very precise way what your marketing message is.
Thank you, Jason. We do have one other question. The Copilot feature, they say, looks helpful. They don't know what to click or select, but they know they could type it out. They wanted to say that they're excited about that. And when will Copilot for Customer Insights be available?
So I got to say that Copilot is very exciting. Microsoft is slowly releasing that technology and intertwining it into all their business applications. Right now, it's looking mid first quarter. I think they're saying February to March before the marketing Copilot functionality would be generally available. You could maybe perhaps use it in a preview, a trial or a demo type of capacity. Prior to that, yeah, so generally available come most likely February to March timeframe.
Great. Okay, thank you. We don't have any other questions. So we hope this webinar on real-time marketing has been informative and valuable to everyone who joined us today. Keep an eye out for more webinars next year. Q1 2024, we have a Microsoft Copilot 3-part series planned. That will include Copilot for Power Platform, Dynamics 365 Customer Insights Copilot, as well as Dynamics 365 Sales Copilot. We also have a quarterly 2024 LBMC Build It event planned, which will include topics like Power Automate, Power BI. Again, we want to thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at future webinars. If you do have any further questions or need guidance on how to get started, our team is always available to support and assist you.